Hey guys, this is Emma with Strategizing. Today we have James Rognon, who is a professor at Brigham Young University, Idaho, and today he'll be talking to us about social media advertising. So thanks so much for meeting with us. The first question that I have is, could you explain in a minute or less why we should focus on social media advertising versus content marketing?
Great question. So social media advertising, ultimately what that is we're running ads on social media. So we generally tend to do that for basically quick results. So most companies or businesses that are utilizing social media in order to connect or talk to their audience and ultimately get an ROI, like produce sales or something like that, we would use social media advertising kind of as a quick hit to make sure that that happens.
Okay, that makes sense. So on the flip side of that, could you also explain why one would focus on content marketing versus social media advertising?
Yeah. So content marketing is a bit more overt, meaning like less of the hard sell. So, social media in general is social media. Like it's supposed to be social. And so ultimately, when we're kind of producing content and utilizing that, we are building trust with an audience over kind of a longer period of time. And so most people don't like going to, buy a new car at the car dealership because they don't want to feel that kind of pressure to buy, right? And so that's kind of the same thing with content marketing, is it allows us to talk to an audience without necessarily saying, hey, buy my product, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. Thanks for explaining that. So how would you explain the relationship between the two and how they work together?
Yeah. Now this is going to be mostly for businesses, influencers or other content creators. It's going to be kind of different, but for most businesses, they need to have a social media presence in order to run social media ads or the advertising, and so you still need to be producing content. And so in kind of long scheme of things, you're still producing kind of content on a regular basis, meaning we should be focusing on building trust with our audience over a longer period of time. And so I like to use kind of the relationship between those. You got to use them both. I tend to use 80% of the time more content marketing, and then 20% of the time kind of be those ads. And that's just kind of a general guidelines. It comes down though to the company and the business's ultimate goals.
Okay. So you mentioned a little bit about a general rule about how to use them both. So in your experience with social media advertising, what have you seen to be like the most effective balance between the two?
Yeah, it really, again, depends on the business and kind of the ultimate goals. For those businesses that kind of want to make sure that they have a success on social media without just focusing on the advertising side of things, which I think is a better long-term strategy. Ultimately, focusing on kind of every single piece of content is more of driving value to the audience. And then the value is not focused on kind of what the business needs, but what the audience needs. And so the 80-20 rule, that's what I mean by that, is 80% of the time you're kind of focusing on your audience and kind of what they're looking for. And then 20% of the time we're running ads. And that could be, you can run ads without necessarily having it hit your feeds or anything like that, but it allows you to kind of still make sure that you're hitting the products and the ROI that the company is looking for. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that does.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.